I leave you. I don't want to... Yeah, the final issue. The Supreme Court judgment, my last issue, Supreme Court judgment, actually voided Regulation 87 that you kept using to run a one-man show at the IEBC. You remember the regulation was nullified by the Supreme Court judgment, 2022?
Yes.
And the Supreme Court, in its finding again, Chairman, they read your affidavits, your 3 affidavits. They read the affidavits of all the other commissioners. And they came to the conclusion that the dispute between the 3 of you and the other 4 commissioners was a boardroom dispute. They had your issues in the affidavit about the 3 a.m. meetings, 2 p.m. meetings, about the press conference of Cherera. The Supreme Court had all those issues, and they reached a finding. So as a chair, as a lawyer, you filed 3 affidavits before the Supreme Court, and you made all those allegations. You gave the Supreme Court all the documents which we've not been provided for. And the Supreme Court did not find anything wrong with the conduct of the 4 commissioners. They don't even find anything wrong with the other 3 commissioners. They don't find anything wrong with the IEBC as a whole. The only thing they found was that it was internal issue, it was administrative dispute, which should be fixed by the commission. So why do you still want Commissioner Irene Masit to be followed for the events of 15 August when the Supreme Court already had it and determined it?
Well, as I said, the Supreme Court had 9 issues for determination. 9. And all those issues were dealt with. There was no issue as to the governance structures of the IEBC. If there was, then we could have filed a relevant affidavit to that effect. But having said so, I think the recommendations of the Supreme Court is what informs part of the post-election evaluation, and I believe those issues will be addressed by the incoming commission.
Chairman, have you read of the judgment, paragraphs 2008 to 244 of the judgment of the Supreme Court? They actually made findings on the affidavits.
Yes, I'm saying the issues for determination. As a council, you know, we answer to the issues for determination. And the issue about how the commission is governed was not one of the issues. If it was, we would have filed relevant documentation to give the Supreme Court a chance to make a finding on whether the commission follows those governance structures or not. And I believe those findings could not have been the same if we had that opportunity to put the documentation before the Supreme Court.
My understanding of the judgment is that they actually reached conclusions on the conduct of the commissioners, the 7 commissioners, and made findings in paragraph 243, and the last final findings of the judgment. So again, I'm asking, if the Supreme Court had your affidavit, let's say again, let me agree with you that they did not reach a finding on it, but they had your affidavits in which you set out the disputes. You set out the meetings of 3 a.m. in the morning or 2 o'clock Cherera conference. So if there was anything wrong with those incidences, why didn't the Supreme Court decide on them? And they had the evidence before them.
I think that's for the Supreme Court to say. I don't know what the judges considered or did not consider, but all I know is that all those affidavits were filed around the same time on 26th, 27th, and there was no time for filing further affidavits and rebuttals and so forth because of the limited time we were given. So I believe we put what we could in terms of focusing on the issues that had been set for determination.
No, because when you spoke initially, Chairman, you were so into the word can say emotional about it, that there was like breach of the Constitution. There was like an intention to subvert the will of the people. When did you file your affidavit?
To the Supreme Court?
Yes.
I think they were done on the 26th.
Of August?
Of August.
The incidents you're referring to are 15th of August. You had 2 weeks to do, about 11 days to do the affidavit. So if you were so minded that there was an intentional will to subvert the Constitution or to the will of the people, because you set it out in the affidavit, and was dealt with by the Supreme Court. So my issue is that why is it being revisited? It has been dealt with by the Supreme Court. Should it be with finality? Do you have an issue against Commissioner Irene? You don't want to sit in the commission?
I'm here on invitation of counsel for the tribunal, and what I came to say is that what I said in the affidavits is true to the best of my knowledge on events that happened. As for Commissioner Masid, what I've said is what she said, and that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes.
Re-examination. Yes, I'll have five issues to re-examine. Mr. Chebukati.
Yes.